Welcome back, and you're watching Market Fatafat on ET. Now let's keep it going with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. And now on the technicals, we have Osho Krishan from Angel One joining in with us. Osho, a very good afternoon to you. And let's start with your first stock, that is Indigo. Now this has surely made a list of a lot of technical analysts. How are you viewing the charts for this one? Could you expect a nice run-up for this one going forward?
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, no doubt Indigo has given a consolidation range breakout today, so we are very much bullish in this counter. And as of now, the stock has emerged as to fulfill the bearish gap, which is approximately around 1970. So from here onwards, we are expecting that 2000 should be on the cards in a very short-term perspective. And once it tested 2000 level, then from there onwards, we can see a strong reversal in this counter. And from there onwards, we can expect 2150 in short to medium term time frame. So overall, the structure is very much bullish. The stock has consolidated near the 200-day SMA, and in past two sessions, it has witnessed strong traction on the buying side. So we are expecting approximately 2000 in a very short term time frame.
Let's keep an eye out on Indigo and all those levels. But yes, earnings season is here, so we have one more earnings candidate, and that is Just Dial. This stock is buzzing in trade. It surged almost as much as 5% in trade on the back of a strong set of numbers that was reported by the company. They continue to see a recovery in terms of the margins that were reported for the Jan to March quarter as well. Now, in terms of the local, in terms of the press release, they've said profits for the company were better than expected as well. Overall, the unique users, active visitors, active listings and paid campaigns on the platform also were seeing an improvement coming in this time around as well. Other than that, the company has reported 15.9 crore unique visitors ended on the platform in Jan to March quarter from 15.7 in the October to December quarter, and this metric has risen for the 5th consecutive quarter as well. So keeping an eye out on Just Dial, good set of numbers is what is keeping the stock in focus.
All right, let's shift focus and let's talk about a pharma name that's soaring in trade today, and that's Lupin. And okay, let's give the fact that the entire pharma space is also buzzing in trade today. So it's not just Lupin, but Lupin today actually is rising actually as much as 6% as we speak. It is actually the biggest intraday gains in over 3 weeks coming in for Lupin. Tech has actually gone ahead and closed its fast sell recommendation on Lupin, citing potential gains from the US markets. And as you can see, Lupin is actually performing pretty well on the pharma index as well. FAST is a rating methodology used by Investec, which stands for Fundamental Research, Idea, Analyst, Conviction, Short-Term Catalyst, Timely Trade Opportunity. So that's what FAST stands for. And in FAST analysis, the shorter term catalyst rather than a 12-month fundamental research values are given additional weightage. Investec, however, is maintaining the sell stance on Lupin. They're citing chances of near-term rally if the company gets US drug regulator approval for generic Spiriva, which is a drug that is used to treat chronic obstructive pulmonary disease as well as asthma. So on this particular change in their rating or the way how they're viewing the counter, you can see Lupin that's soaring in trade with the rest of the pharma pack.
Yes, today it is soaring in trade, but Osho, let's discuss the charts. In the last 6 months, it's merely gained 0.5% or so. So what are the trends on the charts looking like?
See, overall, the structure on a broader term perspective is still sideways. But for short term perspective, with today's rally, we are expecting that as it has crossed the 200-day SMA on the daily chart. So from here onwards, we can expect another day of follow-up buying in this counter. But to be very honest, 690 to 700 is the supply zone for Lupin. So this counter has to struggle a lot to cross 700 levels. But once it crosses 700, then from on a decisive closer manner, then from there onwards, we can see an immediate upside rally of approximately 740 to 750 points in very short-term time period.
Okay, that's Lupin on the charts for you, but let's move right on then and discuss Zee Entertainment. That as well is in the spotlight, and it has been for the past many days. Do remember, US-based investment company Invesco has divested their entire 5.1% stake in Zee Entertainment for 1,004 crore rupees. This is via the open market transaction, the average price of which is 204.5 rupees per share. In fact, you have some buyers of the shares, which included Seganti, India, Mauritius, as well as Morgan Stanley, Asia, Singapore. Now, Invesco has offloaded the shares in the company via its firm, that's OFI Global China Fund LLC, which sold over 4.9 crore shares, amounting to this 5.1% stake as per the bulk deal. Do remember, as of the March quarter, OFI Global China Fund held over 4.9 crore shares, which was about 5.1% stake. And this is Invesco Developing Fund, which is managing the funds for OFI Global China and other funds in the company. It was in the month of April that they also offloaded 7.7% stake for 292 crore rupees. And it was earlier that Invesco was the single largest shareholder in Zee Entertainment, holding around 17.8%. Do remember there have been a lot of disputes as well that have taken place with Zee Entertainment, and all of that has led to the fund selling out.
That is Zee for you all. But let's move on, talk about Godavari Power as well as Shesha. Why have you picked up this stock? What's the news for you today?
The stock is holding on with gains of nearly 1.5%, and just to give you a brief background, it was on the 16th of March when the company had informed the exchanges that an overburden dump at company's Ari Dongri iron ore mines had collapsed partially, and the same had resulted into partial impact on iron ore mining operations at the said mine. Yesterday again there's an update which has come in with respect to these mines, where they say that the company is in the process of restoring the overburden dump. They also say that the company is taking necessary measures for stabilization of dump to avoid repetition of such collapse in the future. Management commentary, meanwhile, is also quite optimistic. They say mining operations and volumes are now gradually improving, and the company is expected to reach normal operations by the end of current month. And hence they believe financial impact due to partial collapse of the overburden dump will be minimal, and the company is trying to, as the company is carrying inventory at a very lower level. So on account of this update that has come in and the fact that the company is now resuming operations which were impacted, the stock is in focus today, and it is holding on with gains of nearly 1.5%.
All right, so that's Godavari Power for you, but let's shift focus to a tyre company, and that is JK Tyre Osho. If you look at this one on the charts, if you see the YTD performance has not been good, which means that the year 2023, like the rest of the market, has not been that great for JK Tyre. But 1 year performance, healthy gains coming in for this one. Where do you see this one now headed? Do you think it will consolidate, given the fact that for the last 1 year it's seen a healthy gain, or do you think that from here on it will rise?
See, basically this counter has been in the sideways range from past 3 to 4 months. But what we have seen or observed in the technical chart of JK Tyre, that it has been consolidating near the 200-day SMA on daily chart. So 200-day SMA is a very strong support zone on the technical analysis side. So from here onwards, as we have seen that the consolidation has happened above the 200-day SMA, and by in last few trading session, the counter has gained some kind of volumes. So from here onwards, we expect that the upside can be, the stock has the potential to go upside towards 185 to 188 in the short term period. And looking at the overall technical setup, where it has rebounded from the oversold region, so we are expecting that 185, 190 should be the immediate target that one can expect in this counter in short term perspective.
All right, let's move right on then and discuss another newsmaker then. And at number 25, Vamakshi, Bombay dyeing in the spotlight.
And this counter is gaining in trade today, but apart from that, when we look at the trading session yesterday, the stock jumped as much as 6%. Now, as per the company's March shareholding, we've realized that Madhuri Madhusudan Kela now holds nearly 1.65% stake in the company. So that was one news flow surrounding this counter. But another important factor is the appointment of Rahul Anand as the CEO for the realty business recently, and under his leadership, many investors as well as analysts are expecting to see a turnaround income in their company. In fact, when we talk about Rahul Anand, he previously held a leadership position in the Brookfield Group. So largely, these are the two news flows surrounding this counter, and that is the reason why the stock is in focus today. As of now, trading higher by nearly 0.7%.
Keep an eye out on Bombay dyeing, but move on and looking at Amara Raja battery. Osho, what are the charts indicating for this one? Last 6 months, yes, overall you look at it, it's a sharp run up, but specifically in the last 3 months, it's remained quite flat. Not of an exciting move that there is for Amara Raja battery. What are the charts indicating now?
Consolidation is in a very narrow range of 560 to 580-85 zone. but from past 2 days there has been some buying traction. And looking at the broader time perspective, we are witnessing a sloping trend line breakout in this counter. So a decisive breach above the level of 595, we can expect the strong bull run to carry on in this counter. So from 595, one can expect a target of approximately 620 to be the first target. And once it reaches 620, then from there onwards, we can see a strong rally towards 660, 670 in the medium term perspective. But for short term, 620 should be the immediate target.
That's the immediate target for Amara Raja. Keep an eye out on that one. Let's talk about HEG and graphite. Now, why these two stocks that I've picked out is because, we had the China gross domestic production data that came in, which saw a sharp expansion coming in, a growth coming in on that front, 4.5% in the March quarter. And obviously that means that, this will work out well for both these companies in terms of sales, the products and demand increasing over there will help the business improve for HEG and graphite as well. On the back of that, we've seen that post the data had come in during before market open, and since then we've seen that the stocks have been gaining in trade. Graphite up 4.96%, while HEG is up 2.36% in trade.
All right, let's shift focus then and let's talk about United Spirits. And there is no direct news that is impacting United Spirits, but sentimentally there's a news that will impact the company. Agencies have reported that New Delhi has rejected Pernod Ricard's application to renew its liquor sale license in the city, and this is the latest blow that's coming in for the French spirits giant. The April 13th order from the city, New Delhi's authorities is saying that the decision was reached after reviewing Pernod's license application along with considerable documents received from the investigating agencies in India. They've also cited that many of the agency's allegations, including that Pernod illegally made profits by giving false price information and financially supported retailers in exchange for stocking more of its brands, actually violated the rule. It's a 12-page order, and that's one of the reasons why you can see United Spirits see that spike when the news flow had come in, because this is sentimentally positive, because Diageo is a direct competitor of Pernod Ricard in Delhi, so it bodes well for Diageo, in turn United Spirits. So that's the reason why you have the stock that is in focus in today's trading session.
All right, let's move right on then and discuss the OMCs. HPCL, BPCL, IOC are all in the news today, and that's largely on the back of the fact that the Singapore GRMs are trading at a 6-month low. So that comes in as a negative for a lot of these companies. They're all in the spotlight on the back of this. You've got the Singapore GRMs, which are at about $2.5 dollars per barrel versus $3.5 per barrel, which is the lowest in the last 6 months. That's at October 27, 2022 lows. All of these counters are in the spotlight.
Let's move on and talk about Asian Paints then, Osho. How are you looking at the charts for this one? Asian Paints has not done anything for the longest period of time. Is it finally time to buy this one, and could we expect a coat of green for Asian Paints?
There is not a very strong reversal kind of a pattern in Asian Paint, but what we are witnessing that it is hovering in a higher highs, higher lows pattern in a channel. So from here onwards, one can expect an immediate target near to 29.50 for short-term perspective. And these are the levels where one can, current market price is the perfect level to accumulate this counter for the immediate upside target of 29.50. Once it breaches above the 29.50 levels, then from there onwards, we can see a outburst in the ongoing channel, the rising channel. But as of now, 29.50 should be the immediate target for short-term perspective in Asian Paint.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Sterling and Wilson. Ashesha, why is this one in focus today?
Is the reason the stock is in focus today, and the stock is clearly rejoicing as we speak. It is holding on with gains of over 2%. Today, during market hours, the company informed the exchanges that they've backed through 3 rural electrification orders worth about 1,080 crores. One order is from Chhattisgarh State Power Distribution Company, and the other 2 orders are from South Bihar Power Distribution Company in Nalanda as well as Gaya. The company also said that these projects are aimed at development of distribution infrastructure at electric supply circle, and they will impact lives of lakhs of people, and they will come with a 30-month timeline. So on account of these orders that have come in, the stock is in focus today, holding on with gains of over 2% as we speak.
All right, let's move on then. And Pennar Industries is the next stock that we're flagging off. While it might be down and out in today's trading session, no doubt, Osho, it's been a fabulous run-up over the last 1 month or so. So from the current levels of 83, where do you see Pennar headed?
See, overall, the technical structure for this company is very strong. We are very much bullish in the counter. And after the rally in yesterday's session, there can be some kind of cool off, but the support is lying around 78 to 80 zone. So one can accumulate this counter around 80 to 78 zone for the immediate upside of approximately 88 to 92. Once it surpasses 88 to 92 zone, then we can even witness this counter to enter into the 3-digit price zone. So from here onwards, we are very much bullish in the counter, and any dip should be utilized to accumulate this.
Okay, let's move on. Any dips should be used to accumulate Pennar Industries. That's a word coming in from Osho. And next stock we have is Titagar Wagons. Vamakshi, why have you picked out this one in trade today? What's the news today?
Well, Mini, ICICI Securities met up with the management of Titagar Wagon. They visited Titagar Wagon's wagon and coach manufacturing facilities in Kolkata, and here are some of the important takeaways that have come in from this meet. They're highlighting that there is a favorable demand environment that is being supported by the government's increased budgetary allocation for the railways. They plan to expand their existing wagon manufacturing facility from 8,400 units to 12,000 units, and this is come this will help them in order to complete their existing order of 24,177 wagons and future orders from the Indian Railways. The coach manufacturing capacity, on the other hand, is expected to strengthen its presence in the Vande Bharat as well as the metro opportunities. Now, the current order book stands at nearly 15,000 crores, which includes 5,000 crores worth of orders from the Vande Bharat train set order. So given all these factors, we have Titagar Wagons in focus. As you can see, the stock is trading just off the day's low, up nearly day's high rather, and it is trading nearly 2% higher.
All right, that's Titagar Wagons for you. But Osho, on the charts, how does Mahanagar Gas look to you? Because of late, at least a few months ago, this was on the spotlight for all the technical analysts. But now, where is Mahanagar Gas headed?
From here onwards, we are already witnessing a 52 weeks high in MGL, and even in past 2 sessions, there has been a strong buying movement in this counter. So we are expecting that from here, approximately 1,060 should be the immediate resistance or immediate target for short-term traders. Once it tests or once it breaches above 1,060, then from there onwards we can expect 1,100 target. But as of now, the support lies around 960, 970. So if there will be any dip after the massive movement in the recent period, so one should also accumulate this counter around 980 to 1,000 zone for the target of 1,060.
Okay, that's a buy coming in on Mahanagar Gas from Osho. Let's move on, talk about Mahindra Logistics. This stock is in focus on the back of a note that has come in from Sharekhan. They've upgraded the stock to a buy. And one of the reasons that they've given is that they believe that the upgrade is coming in, though the target price has remained 502. They consider that the recent correction has led to its transition phase, providing a buying opportunity. And overall, Sharekhan did have an interaction with the management of Mahindra Logistics. They believe that the upbeat outlook of end-user demand in the medium term, barring the e-commerce, is something they're positive on. The focus stays on margin expansion by the management, and overall, the 3PL business is expected to see a growth of 15 to 16% CAGR, with focus almost doubling the share in terms of high margin integrated 3PL revenue over the next 5 years as well. So that's the factor that they're keeping an eye out on. They're positive on the stock, though the stock has given up all its morning gains, trading down with the cuts of around 0.3% as we speak.
All right, let's put the spotlight on delivery. This particular counter has been in focus over the last 1 week or so. Today, the stock is in focus on back of a brokerage note. On an intraday basis, it has gained, it's seen the biggest intraday gain in a week or so. Bernstein has initiated coverage with a market perform rating on delivery with a target of 360 rupees per share, which implies 11% upside from the last close price of 323.2 rupees per share. They're saying that delivery will see earnings recovery after recent steps to improve its financials. They've also added that the long queue of private equity investors exit will, however, cap the gains for delivery. They remember that delivery went public at 536.35 rupees per share on May 24, 2022, and so far it's fallen 39% in nearly a year since his debut. But Bernstein has initiated a coverage. They've given a rating of market perform on this particular company, and they've set a target of around 360 rupees per share. So watch out for delivery. Trading higher by about 1.4% as we speak.
Moving on, then let's discuss auto ancillary and Osho. Let's talk about the charts of Bharat Forge in particular. How is the stock trending?
Bharat Forge is having a rebound from the recent lows, and it is expected to move in a very strong manner from here onwards. The immediate target that we can expect is 810 to 820, and once it surpasses those levels, then we can see a strong reversal in this counter for approximately 880 target. 880 is the consolidation zone in the previous January-December month. So we can expect that 880 can be tested because auto ancillaries has kept the pace later because auto companies have already seen a strong movement in the recent period. So now it will be the turn for the auto ancillary company, and from here onwards we can expect a very strong target in these counters.
All right, let's move on then and discuss Tata Communications in greater detail as we're expecting the numbers. The Q4 FY23 consolidated numbers are likely to be higher by about 1.8% sequentially at 4,609 crores. EBITDA is seen coming in at about 1,102 crores. That's up about 2%. Margins are seen expanding, albeit very marginally, to 23.9 versus 23.8%, so flat actually. Whereas the net profit is seen at 358 crores. That's down about 9%. Meantime, the net profit is largely likely to decline owing to the higher borrowing costs and the higher tax outgo. The cost to normalization is what could keep margins flat, and this means the previous COVID-related savings have dwindled, more employees have joined, investments as well have picked up. A decline in voice revenue will continue, and for Tata Communications, data revenue is seen anywhere between 2 to 2.5%, a rise on the back of the benefit from the rise in execution on easing supply chain issues. We'll be watching out for growth outlook, order book, guidance on for FY24 as well as churn levels. Remember, the stock has declined nearly 16% from the 2023 highs of 1431 on the 12th of Jan and now stands at about 1280.
Okay, let's move on. Talk about Coal India on the charts. Osho, what are the technical levels that one should watch out for this one? How is it looking like for Coal India now?
See, Coal India has been hovering in a very broad range of 205 to 225 from past 5 months. But what we have seen in past two trading sessions that it has given a breakout above the level of 225. So overall, the technical setup gives a target of 245 for this counter, but that will be seen in a gradual basis. It won't be a very strong movement towards 245, but it will be definitely 245 from short to medium term perspective. So if there will be any correction towards 225, 220 again, so those levels can be seen to accumulate this counter for the immediate target of 245.
All right, moving on then. Ashesha Precision camshafts, this particular counter has been in focus of late, isn't it?
It was in focus for second consecutive session. Yesterday it was up 15%, today it is up another 10%, and the stock has gained nearly 25% in the last two trading sessions alone. Yesterday, of course, we had the news that Vijay Kedia has entered the company with about 1.05% stake. Investors are finding value in EMOS, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the company based out of Netherlands. This subsidiary has presence in Europe, and they are into converting ICE engines into electric trucks. So EMOS is the segment where investors are finding value. The stock is in focus for the second consecutive session, and today, as you can see on your screens, gaining nearly 9% as we speak.
All right, keep tracking Precision Cam, but let's also find out what the charts of KEC International look like. And Osho, do you think that at the current price, it would be a thumbs up on KEC?
See, KEC has recently seen a sloping trendline breakout, and it is looking very aggressive on the technical chart on the daily basis. So from here onwards, 505 to 510 should be seen as the immediate target for short-term traders. And once it surpasses 510 zone, then it has the potential to retest the levels of 522 in a very short-term perspective. So one should keep this counter in their radar and should accumulate this for short-term and better returns.
Okay. And Vamakshi, talk about the debutant on the D Street, Avalon Tech. How has it performed in today's trade? How was the listing?
Well, Vinny, a rather lukewarm listing for this counter has come in for the stock today. Now, the shares of Avalon Technologies listed at 436 rupees a piece on NSE, which also happens to be its issue price, but it listed at 431 rupees per share on BSE in Tuesday's trade. This is a discount of nearly 1.15% to the issue price as far as BSE is concerned. Now, the company did come out with a 865 crore IPO. It received quite a tepid response on the first 2 days, but in fact, the subscription sale through the last day, thanks to the strong interest that came in from QIBs, that is qualified institutional buyers. Now, the overall subscription for the issue was 2.1 times at close. So right now the stock has in fact declined further from its opening price. It is down nearly 8.6% as we speak.
Okay, and finally at number 43 then, Osho, let's discuss Welspun Corp on the charts.
Welspun Corp has seen a double bottom breakout in past week. So from there onwards, there has been some kind of cool off or correction in this counter, because in past 2 weeks it has rallied from the levels of 190 to 225. So there will be some kind of cool off in the counter, but till the time it is sustaining the bullish gap which is present around 207, we are expecting that upside potential of 235 to 40 is intact in this counter. So one should remain bullish in this counter, and any dip towards 207, 208 should be used to accumulate this counter for immediate target of 235.40 levels.
Right, and that indeed was the last talk of this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much, Osho, as well as Vamakshi and Ashesha for joining us on the show, and Kunal as well. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Fatafat. Goodbye from Ava and Vinny, myself, and the team that put the show together. Stay tuned. Closing Taste coming up next.